Hi, this is Katie.
Stephanie.
This is a Reading Nook Magic podcast.
And today we have special guests, Emily and Dalton Bequette, and we're here to talk about their book, Flameheart.
Thank you so much for having us.
Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you guys for reaching out and supporting our podcast, and we're happy to support you back, and we're excited to chat about this. I know it's been a big deal. It's been about a month, right? July 29th it was released.
Yes.
And it seems to be really well received. It looks like on Goodreads you have 93 reviews at a 4.5 rating, which is super high for Goodreads.
Thank you. It's been a fun journey for sure.
What's the feedback that you're getting from people?
I'd say 95% very positive. The other 5% is fairly positive.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's been a real honor to see how Aurelia's journey has touched people. I think my favorite review that I've heard is that Flameheart is not a flawless book, but it is heartfelt and it is powerful. And I think as a writer, you can never get it perfect, but if you can reach a heart with its message, then that's the goal. That's the dream.
Yeah.
So for people to feel seen with this, even just one person, and clearly it's more than one, has been amazing.
It's like that's a W, right? Like you're winning because that you hit the mark, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're following on Instagram. We've been following you. I think your account was pretty relative. Was it pretty new when we reached out? Because I feel like I've watched it grow.
It has really exploded over the last year. You know, we started 2025 with our word being growth, and in several areas of our life, and one of them was our social media game. And so we were like, okay, so we're going to study social media and we're going to see what works. And we started the year on Instagram with less than 500 followers, and now we are almost to 2,000 followers. And you know, it's been a slow but steady growth. And I mean, everyone wants to go viral. Everyone wants to, you know, blow up to some degree. Not him.
Real, right? Like your interactions, the people, like it's real, and you're talking to people, and they're talking back, and you don't have to question that you're doing it right. It may be slow, but it's real.
Exactly.
Right, super genuine, right?
Yeah.
Like you're real people. That's one thing we found too, is this particular bookish community is so eager to make connections. And so, I mean, obviously there's some toxicity like any group, but overall,
I feel like minimal though.
it's on TikTok a lot, but
oh, well.
but you know, overall though, just so welcoming and ready to interact and support people and be excited and hype you up. And have you experienced that?
Well, she put me in charge of TikTok. It went.
We're reviving it. We're reviving
it because my day job, I'm a blue collar worker, and I work for a wrecking company. I'm busy, and I'm very forgetful because we have lots of stuff going on between work and here, working on our book, and then you know, we do a lot of stuff in our yard, so I don't have time for TikTok, and it's shown. And then she got on there, and within 24 hours, we had a bunch more followers and a bunch more interaction. And
He's very good at flattery.
Well, TikTok's a lot. Like, we're millennials, right? And we did not have a TikTok prior to our ventures here, and it's definitely our slowest. I feel like it's the same, but it's not, because we're not
It's a different
familiar with
animal, you know. Like I have really come to love Instagram and kind of curating that, and I love talking to people in the comments and in our DMs too. I will say to anyone listening to this, the best way to make an indie author's day is to message them on Instagram or TikTok or whatever and tell them how much you love their book and why. That literally is an instant day maker. And to have people reaching out to us and telling how much they love the book and how much they are looking forward to the sequel is awesome. And to, you know, kind of start to funnel that over into TikTok has been cool and fun to see too.
It's like a different pace.
The other thing that is a day maker is for people that we know that like our videos to actually like our videos with the like button instead of
wouldn't that be nice
seeing
if
a
they did
video.
that?
Yeah.
It's the one with the heart.
Some of my good friends will tell me, "Oh, I love you guys' videos. These are awesome and amazing." It's like, how come I've never seen you like a single video? If you want us to make more, help us.
But that just goes to show you that people are always watching.
Right.
Like, they may not be interacting, but they're watching. They know. They're remembering. Like, it's kind of crazy, actually, but...
It really is, because like marketing as an indie, as any author, because traditional Big Five, indie, self, whatever, the marketing budget is minimal. And the support in that realm is minimal. So you are the spokesperson for your book, and your readers are the spokesperson for your book. And so it can kind of feel like, am I annoying people? Am I just shouting into the void, repeating myself over and over and over again that this is a, young adult YA portal fantasy where the reader could possibly get the main character in her book? Like, do I keep talking about this and is no one listening? But they are. And our publisher actually told us a really interesting fact that someone has to see a product 7 times before they add to cart. And so if you think that you are doing it too much, you're fine.
Or probably still not enough, right? Like,
yes.
Yeah, so our day job is real estate. And something we were actually told recently that it's even higher now for us for advertisements. I think it's like 12 times now to see an advertisement and remember. I mean, books is entertainment, so it might be a little different than home
I
sales.
think it all goes into the same thing, because I was watching this video on communication. They were just talking about like how to tell somebody you're interested in them, and she noted that you have to make 21 passes, meaning like eye contact, smirk, hi, like
receptive
body,
body, like receptive body language.
Yeah, 21 times for somebody to be like, I think they're interested. Like,
wow, we're so dense.
Yeah, we are. Human beings are.
Wait, maybe that's the green light for us to include lots of smirking and eye contact in our book.
Yeah, I think
it's
definitely.
never enough.
Maybe it really is never enough. We just got through edits of our second book, and that was one of the crutch words where we're looking at.
Well, I mean, even in real life, it's actually interesting you bring that up, because even in a relationship, if you're feeling insecure that day or needy that day and someone's not looking at you, or they're even like their shoulders like pointed away, you're like, hey, like, I'm over here, like, give
You
me...
hate me.
Yeah, why don't you love me anymore?
We may have had that conversation once or twice.
He's like, oh, how did I get stuck on an interview with 3 women right now?
I'm like, I am gonna go over here. Like,
Well, actually, wrong pipe. That's what I'm going to blame it on.
He was drinking something, and it went down the wrong pipe, so that's why.
Oh.
It wasn't the estrogen. It was not the estrogen in the room.
Okay, good. We haven't freaked him out yet.
No, not at all. I mean, he kind of signed up for this when he decided to write a romantic fantasy novel. So
Kind of signed up for this.
so
when
tell
I
us
married
about
you.
that. Yeah, actually, like, how did this happen?
do you want to start? Or
Nope, you
Nope.
start.
Okay, fine. So we met by accident. We met as beta readers. So we have a very on-brand meet cute, actually. We had no intention of meeting each other, but we found each other through an online writing forum, and, he was working on a historical, kind of speculative piece from a male perspective, and he wanted a female perspective, and so I kind of hopped in there and offered my 2 cents, and we kind of started a collaborative project from there. And I'm really into fantasy, so I kind of made more fantastical influences on the project, and as the 2 characters fell in love, we fell in love,
Oh my god.
and it was very much accidental and not planned at all. And so it kind of just stuck, and we met up. I was living in Connecticut at the time, he was in North Carolina, and we started a friendship and moved into a relationship, and we got married, and we've been writing with each other for years at this point, and then we finally decided to write a book together.
She's been wanting to write a book since she was, 14?
I won my first poetry contest in the 5th grade, so
Woo! She's like,
it's
"Oh,
been
what-
early
what's
since I could
29?"
put magnets on a fridge together and like do little stanzas. It's been since then.
But it was funny because I'm very goal oriented, And when I was younger, I wanted to write a book, but I could never think of anything to write a book about. So in my mind, I'm not going to write a book if I don't know what to write about.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And, well, she's the exact opposite. She's like slamming out all these ideas. I'm going to do this.
I'm the vibes.
And so she joked about the idea of us writing a book together. I'm like, yeah, right, no. I think I told her yes or maybe, but I was thinking in my mind, yeah, no, not going to happen.
Like, sure, that's ever going to happen.
You're like, okay, honey. Love you.
Exactly,
Bye-bye.
exactly. But then this idea popped in, which was essentially one day driving back to the house, it just hit me. It's like, what if every story ever told, written, sung about, movies about, or told, from person to person, myths, legends, all that, what if they are all real? And a real world somewhere in the imagination that you could go to. And I mentioned that to her, and her response was,
What if the writer fell in love with their character, and vice versa? Because I feel like we as writers fall in love with our characters all the time, but what if that character actually loved you back? And you don't get more forbidden romance than that.
Yeah. And so we played around with several ideas within that. It really was not hard for us to come up with the entire concept of Flameheart. It just pretty much came.
Like, just spontaneously, just that day?
There were, well, not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing, but the world at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's big.
Oh, yeah. Because, see, that's what I love. I am a huge world builder.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Give me a few ideas and, I'll take it and run.
Mm-hmm.
Probably off a cliff, but I'll run.
I'll catch you.
Aw.
But,
You jump, I jump.
Stop! I know, they're like so cute.
Cringeworthy cute, yeah.
But that was one of the reasons why our publisher loved our book so much when we queried them, is the relationship between Aurelia and Casey, the writer and the character. She felt, and her team felt, was so authentic and so quintessentially young adult, and something that she felt should be in the YA space, that she loved how genuine it was and wanted it that badly. So that was really cool for us.
That's amazing. One of my questions was how you ended up landing in the YA space, and was that your intention, and do you think you'll stay there? And kind of, I always wonder, because it's different, right? We're kind of all past that point, so I wonder how an author comes to that.
She's a high school English teacher. And so she was telling me, because this was something that we talked about, is like, what genre do we want to write in and stuff. Because what's really funny is the books that I love are completely different from what we wrote. Now, I love fantasy, don't get me wrong, but I also have a ton of Lewis L'Amour on our bookshelf. I love my westerns. I do. But what really drove us in that direction is the world's been really crazy ever since around 2019, 2020. And for young adults, it's been rough.
Mm-hmm.
And so, especially like she was telling me about a lot of the books that were coming out and stuff like that. And we felt, because we have a lot of books from young adult books that we enjoyed when we were younger, that helped us through different phases in our lives as we were growing up. And we both were like, you know what? Let's be a part of that. See if we can't bring that trend back. Let's write something that's actually going to be more beneficial. Like, write a good story, but instead of focusing on all the craziness, let's focus on
the healing.
The healing.
Because Aurelia's journey is very mental health oriented. Mm-hmm. You've got a lot of adventure. You have so much world building. You have the romance subplot in there. But at its core, it's about a young woman confronting her anxiety and confronting her grief and kind of taking her mind back in a lot of ways, and kind of evolving from this anxious bookworm into the literary warrior she escaped into the pages to be. She can step into. And so being that teacher, I've seen a lot of anxiety in the classroom. I've seen, just kids desperate to escape into something, whether it be social media, whether it be, you know, a book or a movie or a video game. And so we wanted to provide them a space in which they felt seen, and in which they felt that they could kind of walk alongside Aurelia as well.
Relate to her, but not in this weird sense of like toxic positivity, right? Like it's real.
Yes.
And it's the safe space, yeah.
Exactly. There's a scene where she literally has a panic attack, and she is against the door, and she's just there's no spoilers, but she's just
I
confronted.
know, I was going to say, be careful. Do you want spoilers in here?
No, this isn't a spoiler because I'm not going to say what she confronts, but it ends up resulting in her having a panic attack, and she finally breaks down, and it's messy, it's snotty, it's tears running, it's like she has like that like moment where she's laughing so hard she's almost crying, she's hysterical, and she's like, I gotta get it together, my family's gonna be home any minute. And it's just this really raw moment for her. And you know, this common motif in the book is that she feels like she's drowning. And as someone who had anxiety as a teenager, I attest to the fact that it can feel like you're drowning on dry land.
I mean, definitely as a teenager that struggled with that too. I love that. I don't know why that never occurred to me that that's a really, really admirable reason to write a young adult. Now I'm like, do I want to write something young adult?
You definitely should. And like, to
that's...
answer your earlier question about like, would we ever go adult? So Flameheart's a trilogy, and in the third book, it definitely kind of reaches a threshold of new adult territory. But it's still true to young adult in the sense that like those who pick it up from Flameheart expecting young adult will get young adult through the whole series, and I think that that's important to have books in that space. Would we ever write adult books in the future? We have ideas.
We have ideas.
She's got the ideas.
We have ideas.
We have vibes too.
She's got the world. She's got the characters.
It's funny because I feel like you have ideas, and I want to write a book, but I don't know what to write about. But I really want to write something. It's
You should
it's a lot of parallels when you guys are saying that. I was laughing because it's like, and it works really well when you have the more practical action, goal-oriented people, or you know, more tangible. Yeah. And then you have your like dreamer that's up in the clouds like, of course we can do this. Why couldn't we? We're doing it, you know? And mean it. And you did it. Look.
That was one of the things that we really liked about it. We both wanted for our book specifically with writing the characters, because our goal was my personal pet beef, and this is nothing against female authors at all. In fact, you could say the reverse side for male authors, but when you have one author writing a romance book, they're writing from one perspective. And so with both of us actively being in a relationship, knowing the give, the take, the pull, the tension, and all that, being able to pour that into the characters, because there's a few scenes that we actually took. I took the male character's perspective, she took the female character's perspective, and we wrote it out flash fiction style to really try to get more of a realistic conversation with that, to make it feel more improv in the sense of how a conversation would happen, because we don't always speak eloquently.
Right.
We don't, especially in a heated moment or a stressful moment. But at the same time, some of the most emotional things, some of the most powerful quotes have come from an emotional state where someone just blurts out what they're thinking. So we really wanted to incorporate that into the book to give it more of a stronger realism. And also, as much as we both write, I'm never going to know the female perspective as fully as a female would, or vice versa, because I can spot a male character written by a woman a mile away.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. In
That's
fact,
why
I've
we
read
fall
some
in love
good
with those
ones.
female characters so much.
Well, it's something to be said, because sometimes you're reading it and you may be lost.
You're like, this is never going to happen. They're never going to speak this way.
But like, even if you love it, right? You're like, oh, I love this. You're like, this would never happen.
It's like Hallmark.
This is not how men think or speak. So I actually kind of love that idea, especially probably about everything, but in particular about romance, because you're right. Women are writing it completely based on.
And in that YA space where people are experiencing love for the first time, and it is a very real dialogue that they're experiencing with that.
Yeah.
So that was fascinating.
No, absolutely. And, with the young adult space, this is not against spicy content at all, but in the young adult space that's intended for readers starting at 14 years old, I don't think there's a place for that in that audience. And so I think portraying relationships and men and women in more authentic ways that are appropriate for that age group are also really important.
Yeah, I like that, because sometimes there's there's plenty of books that were originally considered. I think ACOTAR was originally considered YA, wasn't it?
It was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's 1000% not. My daughter is not reading that right now.
True.
Right, for sure. But some people don't know that. And some parents, they go to, the young adult section. I think they finally stopped shelving ACOTAR in the young adult section for this reason. But for a while they didn't. And so, a parent would see it, in the YA section, or have their teenager pull it out for them from the YA and be like, oh, I want to read this. And they would think, oh, it's fine. It'd be like saying oh, it's PG-13, but it's become so different and so nuanced now that, like you said, as, a parent, you're not going to let your daughter read that. We wanted to, present, a romantic fantasy that had all of the swoon and had all of the yearning, and, the slow burn definitely ignites in book 2, but we wanted to create something that was truly YA in that way.
Really appreciate that.
I would let my son watch a PG-13 movie from the 90s. I would not
today.
let my son watch a PG-13 movie from now.
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different.
They're so overexposed anyway that's like a sense of innocence to that they can read and get lost in the book. And
yeah, we got to get them to read. That's half.
That's
a
a
whole
battle.
other story.
That's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole. We got a series.
yeah.
So, you guys have said you've been writing together for a long time, and I know you spoke about that a bit. But what is it like to write in tandem? Like,
what's the process look like?
Yeah, does someone take lead? Do you how does that look?
So we might get some slack for this for any other writers listening to it, but we use Google Docs because there's 2 of us, and that's the only writing program that is compatible with live sharing.
Why would you get exactly that?
So there are some, and I think this is like more so on TikTok. Some people are like, "Oh, Google Docs is terrible," as just like just the capabilities, and a lot of people like Scrivener or like Microsoft Word. Google Docs is kind of like the bottom rung of word processing, but honestly, whatever gets your words down, if we're struck with inspiration out and about, I'll use my notes app. I will text him a quote and he'd be like, oh, that would be so good in this scene. So that's kind of part of our process, is when we're like out and about, and just brainstorming in the car.
You see him just grab her arm.
That's my cue to be quiet.
Of like when he gets the microphone,
he was like I saw it.
Hi.
Will automatically be like,
this is me. This is what I do. But
sorry, I was like watching it. I was like, is she itchy? Wait,
no, I was wondering what the code is because she would randomly just be like, "Here's the microphone," and he would speak like, "There's a code."
He would, like, we have to get that. Like, okay, your turn.
You're welcome. I want some of the credit for that, please.
Credit? Okay, we'll definitely give you credit.
I'm the first. So, what was I saying?
Sorry.
Riding together, inspiration on the road.
Yes. Well, there's even been some times, like, the cool thing about writing together is being able to draw from real life. Mm-hmm. So there would be some moments, like, for example, I won't get too personal or detailed, but after our second born was born, after our other child was born, there were some rough moments for us, just adjusting to a bigger family. I had a job where I was gone a lot. I was on call quite a bit, so I wasn't here and available. So it made things tense, and there was times trying to communicate that to each other. It was hard, but it led to some heartfelt conversations between us. And there would literally be times where we're sitting either in bed or at the table or something, having this heartfelt conversation. And then one of us would say something, and it's like, write it down. We're going to use that for the book. I'm like, yes, that's great, but are you listening?
Clearly.
So yeah, word for word, actually. What was the last?
Yeah. Like, there was one thing, I don't even remember what it was I said. I was trying to boost her because she was having a moment of low self-confidence, and I was really trying to inspire her. And whatever it was I said, she was just like, write that down before you forget it right now. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then, so I started texting.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
You
that
made her
really
happy,
was good.
but for a whole totally different reason.
Exactly. Yeah. But, so going back to trying to put in more realism, some of those quotes, they got in there. And so, because we really wanted this to feel realistic, and not just, we really wanted a fun adventure in a world that you could really escape into, but we also wanted to, we love the books where you learn something. You can take something with you from that book for the rest of your life. I've got several books on the bookshelf that I drew something from and stuck with me for even 20 years. And we really wanted to make a book like that.
And on the technical side of like, how do two people actually compose a book together? When we were originally coming up with the idea, he was a line haul driver for trucks, for semi trucks, and so he would be on the road. We would have headsets on, and he would dictate, and I would type because I'm the fast typer. And being the English teacher, I would kind of edit it and clean it up as we go, while we're going. And then there would be times where, like he had mentioned earlier, we would kind of go back and forth where he would write from Casey's point of view, I would write from Aurelia's point of view, and then I would blend the two together back into that third person. So we did some first person writing to really get deep into that headspace, because one of the big complaints for some readers is like, oh, I don't like reading third person because it doesn't feel as personal. But we really wanted this to feel personal, even though it wasn't in first person, and that's how we were able to achieve that. Yeah. So that's the headset that we used.
That's amazing.
Headsets, they're helpful.
And it's just drawing. I mean, this is an interview, but whatever. I'm just going to tell you something about me. So I went to school for acting at the Lee Strasberg Institute, which is method acting. And the whole premise of method acting is to access real life experiences that are similar to what's happening in the scene, so you can elicit that same response, and then it's real. So you're like, it's kind of not super healthy probably, but yeah, you basically are, it's called sense memory, and you're bringing yourself back to that conversation and drawing from it and making it, because I feel the best, you have to draw from real life and be really, really conscientious about not changing it. And I feel that you guys obviously valued that.
I would say that is healthy in a lot of ways, because at least, for me, when doing method writing, to your method acting point, there are some things with Aurelia's mental health journey that, are a mirror of my own. And in, incorporating some of those feelings and some of those memories, it healed a piece of my 17-year-old self that I didn't know needed healing. And so, when we see reviewers say, this was the book I needed when I was 17,
a lot of reviews said that.
That was phenomenal, because in a lot of ways we wrote the book we wish we had when we were 17. Mm-hmm. So the fact that other people feel seen by that is huge. So it can be very cathartic in that. And
book 2 continues that. I'm going to start doing this now. This is fun.
Thank you.
You have permission to speak.
I just thought that.
Oh man, that's funny. It's so funny when you write notes for an interview and you think it's gonna go like, and then you meet people and it goes a different, like a better way than you could have ever imagined.
Yeah, organic and good.
I'm glad we're not stale.
No, definitely not.
I don't think I haven't laughed this hard in a long time.
Oh, yay! That's always our goal. That's why we love the lip sync videos that we do.
Stick around. We can get it going real good.
All right.
Can't wait.
Where are you? Where are you guys now? Like
In
location
our
wise?
study.
In our office.
No, I mean like
North
states.
Carolina, right?
Yes,
Oh.
North Carolina.
Because I just honestly I want
In our
because
space.
every person we've met on the internet so far away, and I'm like, look, I want to hang out with these people.
No, they were on Eastern time. I was so excited.
Yes,
That's
same here. Same here.
Yeah,
Well, you ever find yourself in North Carolina, let us know.
I will be in the Outer Banks next summer.
We love it there.
Yeah.
You need to go to Duck. It's a great
Yeah.
place. And you need to get Duck Donuts.
Duck Donuts. Okay.
Duck Donuts, yes.
They're iconic and they're an experience, and you need to get them warm.
Okay.
Yes, warm.
Iconic. They're an experience and get them warm. Not one thing was that they're delicious and amazing, or like.
Oh, I thought that was implied.
No. When you say experience, like I'm sure a duck donut is an experience. Like,
More so than regular food.
They're delicious. They are delicious.
They will make you contemplate life.
Wow.
It's the experience.
sounds trippy.
I love that. Are there any stories, characters, people that, besides yourself, that inspired aspects of this story?
So we drew a ton of inspiration from the Chronicles of Narnia. We loved Narnia as kids, and we really wanted to kind of bring that nostalgic feel back. Casey is very similar to Prince Caspian. There's actually a line in the first chapter that Aurelia is like, I had probably an unhealthy obsession with Prince Caspian as a child, and that kind of birthed Casey. So there was a little tongue-in-cheek moment there. But just like the nobility of him, and kind of just bringing back like the green flag MMCs to the table, I think was a huge inspiration for him. And Inkheart is another big inspiration. So like that, just that the concept of like stories coming to life. I mean, like I could like give you like comparable titles like Once Upon a Broken Heart,
Kate and Leopold.
Kate and Leopold, the movie,
Okay.
all of those were big pieces of inspiration. But in terms of like people in our lives, there's a character in the book. She is a guardian of the realm of imagination called the Imperium. And she specifically guards North, which is the name of Aurelia's fantasy world that Casey's the prince of. And she is a brutally honest woman. I guess, or female. She's a guardian. She's not technically human, so I don't know if she's a woman, but that's semantics. But she's a celestial being, and she's sassy, and she's very blunt, and she is modeled after a dear friend of ours that has since moved to Texas, and we're fine about it, but I miss her dearly. And as soon as we were kind of coming up with the character, I saw her face, and I was just like, that's her. And so, channeling her into that character has been super helpful.
Oh, yeah. And even other people, characters in the book, we drew inspiration from friends, family, all that. Not all of it want to disclose because some of it, like they're like, wait, I inspired that character, but that character does this, this, and this. Because that's not you, silly goose.
Like the mom character, because my mom read the book and she loved it, and she doesn't read fantasy, so that was really cool. The mom character, Aurelia, makes a comment about how she likes to go running, but she'll run around the neighborhood and she'll never get anywhere, so it's kind of pointless to her. And my mom texted me, she's like, this comment about running, was that about me? Because she liked to run, and I'm like, Mom, no. I mean, yes, you ran, but no.
I love how clear
say it.
you are on like where all of the moments of inspiration came from. Like you're very clear on all of these things, and that's so cool that it's very fresh in your mind where the story and inspiration came from. Like, instead of just being like, it all came together, I don't really know. Like, no, you know, you're very clear on what you're doing.
There were definitely moments, though, we blacked out. Like, when rereading our drafts, because there's a lot of rereading of your drafts.
How many would you say?
That was
I would say
Time to speak.
at least 8.
Yeah.
8.
That's a ballpark, but yeah, I'd say around there.
And, like, different chunks had probably more or less than that. Because there were some parts that were really annoying, and we just couldn't get right. And so we had to rework it, like, several times.
There was one particular scene. We infamously call it the Leo library scene. And that was a scene we tried multiple times. It was very hard to write because it was very...
A lot of information.
We had... I've got the mic now. We had
It's
a
funny,
lot
she's
of...
still equally as loud, though, so she doesn't even need it. She's got the power.
Yes, she does. We had a lot of world-building information we needed to disclose in this scene, but we also had some revelations that were being revealed, and we needed to create mystery, and it is so hard to do all of that in one scene and keep the scene interesting, where it doesn't just feel like an info dump.
Right.
So we wrote that scene like 3 times. We're not happy. And then she wrote it one way, and I didn't like it. I wrote it another way. She didn't like it. So we didn't write for a month. Like Cold War. Like, we both were literally thinking, like, I don't like the other's direction, so I'm going to go ahead and just not write. And hold on. I've got the mic now. And and what we ended up having to do, or what we did, is I wrote how I felt it would continue, because I'm more on the information side, so I wrote it in a way where I felt it was good with information. She wrote it where the flow was still going well, and then we married the 2 ideas together, and it worked. But yeah, it was a huge hiccup for like a month.
How long did it take you to write it from start to finish?
The whole book?
Yeah.
First draft or final
First
product?
draft. First draft.
A little less than a year.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Thank
If you guys don't, how do you handle constructive criticism with each other? Like, not liking the way...
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
We're still married. We still say we love each other, and we do love each other.
Yes. But we get butthurt real bad.
Yeah.
We get quiet, and I get quiet, and I just don't talk. And I'm like, wow, okay.
And she stops, and she won't talk, and I won't write.
So the manuscript gets held hostage a lot. But we've gotten better. I think because we really switched gears from just writing for our pure enjoyment and just for each other, and as like a hobby we really love to do to each other, and like we didn't really care so much about like the nuance of plot necessarily. Like, you know, sometimes if we just wanted to write something swoony for each other, we just did, you know. But like then it became like, okay, well now they can't gaze at each other for 200 times over the course of a book. We need to fix something else, okay? And so, you know, just kind of coming up with some like pieces of constructive criticism and stuff like that, and we've gotten better at that.
We have a phrase that we like to use, which is, because I'm sure you're familiar, you both are moms, so you're familiar with liquid skin for helping with wounds and stuff. So it's, hey, get some liquid skin out, you know, let's keep going. You know, sometimes we have to kind of, all right, it don't feel good, but it's right, because the thing that we both were trying to do the whole time is what's best for the story. Because there's times that one of us would want something for a character. They're like, oh, the character would do, you know, oh, I want this. I think it would read really cool for the reader. And then, you know, Because the thing that we were really trying to focus on is, okay, if this was real, would that really happen?
Mm-hmm.
Would she really react that way? Would she really say that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, man, I love it, but no, she wouldn't. You know, and like I would even ask her, like, okay, put yourself in Aurelia's shoes. You're dealing with this situation. Would you really make a snarky comment when you're just hearing something devastating? No, I wouldn't. And okay, so yes, it's cool, but we want real world in the fantasy world.
Yeah, I love that. It's so clear how passionate you are about that. I love it.
It was definitely a labor of love. You know, we started Flameheart 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
How's it feel to finally be here, have it released? Is it
surreal.
everything you thought it would be? Like, is this your first published book, together or separate for everyone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's our debut for both of us.
yeah.
Does it feel good?
So good. So surreal. Hold on, let me go get it. Hold on.
Get the hardback.
Yeah, the fancy one.
Snarky comments from my wife.
Rude. There it is.
Oh, beautiful.
So pretty.
It's so pretty, and it's just got like such cool
Oh.
edges, and like we had no idea about the edges that they were gonna do that. So like that was just like really
You didn't
cool.
know? Like you don't get
No.
approval?
We knew that they were considering sprayed edges,
Yeah.
but we really trust our publisher because they've done some really cool books, and they delivered. She delivered.
Like a fish. Like a trophy.
I know. I wish we had it because usually I put it like right here.
I know.
Like
I know.
Her setup at her house is better
I'll show you
for
that.
like aesthetic, but her internet sucks. So
just put it right in front of your face, right there. Lift
It's
higher.
such a nice
Yeah,
face.
perfect.
The box you wanted earlier.
It's the box I wanted.
I love it.
But it's such a surreal feeling, you know, to have something that you've been working on. I mean, as moms, we understand, you know, you are bringing a life into this world for 9 months, and you're just like, I just want it to be here. I just want him or her to be here, you know, and to finally have them with you in your arms, it's this very out of body almost experience. Like this extra piece of yourself is out there in the world. It's terrifying but exhilarating at the same time, and that's the best comparison I can have to writing a book.
Wow.
That's a perfect metaphor.
I have no idea what that's like,
Yes, you do. You wrote a book.
but I didn't give birth to a child.
So this
No,
is
but you
as
wrote a
close
book,
to
and it's like
giving
the same
birth
thing.
as you're ever gonna be.
Yeah, this is your best
Exactly.
gauge too.
This is
So
real.
are you
Like,
guys? So are you gonna stay writing together as a partnership forever? Are you gonna write outside of this genre? Like
I don't want to know how that conversation's gonna
Wow.
go when one of them's like, "I'm gonna try solo."
Uh-oh.
She's going solo. I can
No, I'm
tell
not.
Yeah, you are.
I tried that and failed. I wrote a book before. We wrote Flameheart, and I queried it, and that's kind of how I learned how to query. Was through failure of that first book that I had. I really like writing together, and like I'm a huge after our second book, which we haven't really said this on social media, but the second book is dual POV between
Okay.
Casey and Aurelia. He really took the Casey point of view chapters, and I took hers.
You can leave it in.
Okay.
Yeah, leave it in. And so we really loved the extra added tension with that, and that was fun for us to write. So I definitely would love to do that again.
Yeah.
Even in the adult space, I think would be fun.
Again, this
I love
is
the dual point of views.
3 books. We're definitely planning on doing it with 3 books. for
Right,
sure.
and then that's kind of what I meant after that. Like, I know you guys. I know
So-
you now. I know you're thinking about what's happening next.
Oh yeah. Well, one of the things it's mentioned in book 1 a few times, where Cassarian comes from, is a world that Aurelia and her grandfather created together, and he wrote it into a book series called the Floating Kingdom series, and it's about Casey's adventures growing up, ages.
It's like a middle grade
Yeah.
4-book series,
So we thought it'd be really cool.
and meta.
write this as if Julian wrote it. And so that's one of our plans to do because, even a good friend of mine, he mentioned to me, he's like, man, it'd be cool to have an introductory series for younger kids to lead up into Flameheart. I'm like, yeah, it would. And
Cool.
so we've already got 2 of them figured out how we would write them. And one
I
of them
knew it.
involves a ghost ship. I'm just going to throw that
Okay.
out there. So, some good creepy stuff. But really fun.
Love creep. Look at it. It's what it's not even. This is my
Yes. I love the spoopy season around here.
Yeah, for sure. So we have so many projects in the works. We have dozens of unfinished projects just from when we were writing for fun. I don't think they'll ever see the light of day.
No, they won't see the light of day. I'll make sure of that.
But some of them could birth ideas for books. For
That's what I was saying. Maybe you can pull from it and pull
Well,
chunks and.
Great example. Something my wife really wants to do, and I'm behind the idea, is kind of use our story of meeting each other. Her meet cute. What's that thing called?
Meet cute, babe. Get with the lingo.
Bet.
I bet.
Stop. If any of my students are listening to this, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're gonna get you're cooked, right?
I'm cooked.
I have no idea.
What the Sigma? Oh my goodness. So,
I don't know what half of that means.
me either, honestly.
Neither do we.
No.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, so we do have an idea for an adult contemporary romance. Not sure if it's going to be rom-com or if it's going to be more kind of in the vein of Colleen Hoover, of a based on our beta reader Meet Cute, and kind of do a You've Got Mail homage in a way, but make it modern. So that's
Or make it more historical. We kind of thought about that too.
true, Divine Rivals-esque. We haven't decided.
That's fun. Well, it was so nice to meet you guys. I'm absolutely excited to watch this story, your stories you're writing, and your story as real humans unfold, and support you. And yeah, this has been so fun.
Thank you so much for having us, and I've loved watching your podcast grow, and you guys are doing a great job, and thank you so much for having us.